Hello and welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. Cory, how are you, sir?
Oh, I didn't know who we have here.
Well, we're gonna bounce around and they're gonna hear who we got.
I don't know if I like the change in that, buddy.
Well, let's see how it goes. Cory, how are you, sir?
Oh, now that you ask, Bob, I am doing quite swell. Running a little behind, but traffic was bad on the way here. But we're here, and we're started now. So much better.
Yeah.
You listen up here, Todd. I don't have time for your shenanigans. Oh, Todd, how are you, sir? Sorry,
I am super.
Bob should not have changed this up. See what it did to the flow at the beginning of the show, Todd?
All you had to do is the same thing you do every time.
But it usually starts differently. Anyways, Todd, how are you, sir?
Are you talking to me? Can I talk now? I am super fly. And Bob, how are you?
I'm fly? I don't know if I'm super fly. That might be the whitest thing I've ever said in this show.
That is the whitest thing that I think I've ever heard.
Yeah. And speaking of me saying white things, welcome to the show. If you're new, we're so glad you're here. If you're returning, good on you and us. If you want to go back and listen to or watch any previous episodes, you can go out wherever you get a podcast. Definitely go to YouTube and subscribe and like and follow. Follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook, Threads. If you want to email us, you can send us email to schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram. And that is the house.
Swipe left on Grindr.
No. Wait, I don't know because I've never used Grindr, but isn't swipe left like decline?
I don't know.
The heterosexual dating apps that I've used, that's how they work.
Whichever way you swipe, is fine with us.
No, that can't be right. No, we want them to. Even in a joke, you got to set it up with us coming out on top. No pun intended.
You're not a bottom, eh, Bob?
I was going to say, I feel like Bob's more of a power
No
bottom.
pun intended. Boys, happy Record Store Day, 2025.
Yeah, I heard about that today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you see the lineup at Dearborn Music?
I was in the lineup.
I figured you might have been there.
Yes. Those idiots. Sorry, that's really a bad way to start. That was some ill-advised behavior because there were people that were lined up there in the wee hours of the morning. Spent at least 6 hours in line, as far as I can tell. And I got my ass there at 7:30 this morning. You get in line, right? And at 8 o'clock, they go down the line. They give everybody the order form with like 5 pages of shit that you can, put an X, like that's what I want. And then you get a tandem pair of raffle tickets with your number. And at that point, the line is useless because you got your number. That's your place in line. So you fill it out, tell them what you want, turn in, one half of the ticket, and then you wait for your ticket to be processed. And then you go in the store and find out if you got everything that you wanted. And I have never not gotten what I wanted. And I showed up there 30 minutes before they gave out the raffle tickets. And those other fools that sat in line since 2, 3 in the morning, I don't know what you're doing. I can't think of a single record that would be so great to have that you sit in line that long to get.
Some people like the tailgate, Bob.
It's not tailgating.
Some people love the tailgate, the line wait. Some people love that.
Tailgating is not line waiting. Line waiting is sitting there freezing your ass off in a lawn chair with a blanket and a steaming hot cup of coffee for hours and hours. For what?
Dude, what if I had a really nice triple fat goose, a thermos full of frickin' what is that? I guess it's not a Yeti thermos anymore. You have to use a Stanley thermos. And I got a nice rolling lounge chair and Jerome to push me. That seems like a pretty
well. If you got
pretty
Jerome's
fly morning,
should
Bob.
be standing in line instead of you. That's how I feel. What's the point of having Jerome if you're still?
Because sometimes we like to be amongst the people, the people like us.
Well, I can tell you with 100% certainty that this is not a line you would have wanted to spend any time in. These are people who are just there for vinyl, and they're not. There was zero chance of a kerfuffle in the line, zero chance of a scuffle or some fisticuffs. These were vinyl fans, and they're not fighting with anybody.
All just a bunch of hippies.
So it's even better, Bob. Who wants to go sit in a line with mayhem and violence?
Todd
you
wants
want
to
be
be
like-minded vinyl heads trying to get your thriller album on, your meaty beady big and bouncy Who album on. You're trying to get your swag on, man.
Okay.
You're Sly and the Family Stone on.
Maybe next year you gotta do it, Todd. I'm sure there are people out in Washington that were doing Record Store Day today.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds like you know what you want.
I do.
It's quite the list.
Yeah. So yeah, I got everything I wanted. Walked out of there. I think by the time the only downside is that I was so far back in line that it took them a while to get to my number. So I think that was an hour and a half. Sitting in the car.
Not too bad.
Hanging out. Not in the cold.
That's always a plus.
Yeah. So who's the
slapping the bacon?
I think it's here. Well, no, it was daylight in a public parking lot.
So what Bob means to say, Todd, is that if it's nightfall,
oh yeah, shit's on.
And then there's
shit's going down,
and there's not a lot of people around. He's gonna whip the hog out and start touching himself.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! It's not daytime. Guess I'm in the clear.
It's like the 5-second rule.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Dearborn's law enforcement community, in case you happen to be listening. Protect and serve, brothers. Protect and serve.
But don't come by my car if it's dusk.
Ignore my Honda Civic.
Don't come by my car until I. No, never mind.
Yeah. Also, I heard some good news today for Marvel fans. I don't know if that counts either of you guys, but
it does.
So they're making these 2 new Avengers movies coming out. I think they're shooting them back to back. And I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, they had like a big reveal they did on YouTube where it was basically a 6-hour video of them just like shooting the back of all the director type chairs with the names of the actors who are going to be in the movie. So they're bringing back a lot of people from the original Avengers movie, a lot of the new characters that they've introduced, and so on. But
they left out a lot of key players.
I think there's more announcements to come,
okay.
And I think it's probably going to be a lot like Infinity War and Endgame, where there were certain actors that were in one but not the other. So, but anyway, the news was that because they have all these characters returning for these movies, it's a perfect time to take advantage of having them there. And so they're bandying about making a show on Disney Plus that basically follows Captain America returning all the Infinity Stones. And that's something that, if you're a fan of the movies, that was a big plot point. Like, okay, they showed that he went back in time or went to different, points in time to return the stones, but they didn't explain how he did it or what happened or if there's any, trouble along the way. So, and Evans has been out of the MCU. He came back, spoilers, came back in Deadpool and Wolverine as Johnny Storm, but, they would love to get him back to play Captain America. So this was really, really cool news that I think a lot of Marvel fans would want to see. And so hopefully they will actually pull it off.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited, Bob. Although I did notice in that no, I am. I noticed during the reveal that Sam L. Jackson. So they didn't have Nick Fury. That was my big takeaway when they did the reveal. I didn't see Fury in there. That was a bit of a bummer. I'm like, he's got to make a cameo, especially since Stan's no longer with us.
Well, yeah, I just from him talking about playing Nick Fury, he loved it. He'd do it whenever they asked him to do it. So I can't see them doing it without him either. But you also didn't see Tom Holland's name there.
Yeah, or Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. Cumberbatch, who we know is going to be in at least one of those movies, but his name wasn't in that one. So I think there's more to come. And that's the dork news for the podcast.
All right. Now that we got that out of the way.
Out of the way.
Yep.
Moving on. More dick jokes.
Todd, you got yourself a shot, sir?
Yeah, what are you drinking tonight, Todd?
Oh, man. Bob, I got it going on again, baby. I got this
When do you
original
ever not
backpacker
have it
moonshine.
going on, dude?
That's true. That's true. I got this dark chocolate cherry whiskey, and it is really, really good.
I picked up another pint of Fireball today, but it lasts for a couple of days. By the time we get to like Tuesday, I'm still thinking about if I need booze for Saturday, I'm gonna see if I can find some chocolate cherry whiskey. Because every time Todd talks about it, I'm like, oh, that sounds like it tastes really good.
It is especially when it's icy cold. I keep it in the freezer. It's fantastic.
No, we just
and for my
keep
beer,
pulling it out of
Bob.
the freezer. Yeah.
And for my beer, I'm drinking again. I'm back on the Sea Pine Citra IPA, 6.6% of deliciousness.
All right. So, is there ever a time when you're like, you had sent Jerome out to Liquor Barn to get some new beer? He lands on the helipad.
Yep.
Delivers to you on a silver platter with white gloves, and you take a sip, and you're like, I don't know about this one. I don't know if I'm a fan. Do you work hard to make sure that by the time you get to Saturday, you've got that beer that you are obviously going to say is amazing?
Dude, do you have a camera in my house? This just happened yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know how? So last year, remember, I think we all stand united that we're not big pumpkin fans. And last year, I found the New Belgian Brewing has the Atomic Pumpkin spiced beer that is really, really good. And so Jerome picked up this Nitro Pumpkin Coffee Ale beer yesterday, brought it by, and because we were having drinks with Mary's sister and brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law, and yeah, it was not the right thing. So Jerome had to go back.
Backhanded Jerome and sent him back to the helipad?
Sent him back to the Liquor Barn and
turned the swill.
How dare you bring me this trash, Jerome?
Which is why the Sea Pine is here.
All right, well,
at least he rectified the situation.
Excellent.
Dude. Good help's hard to come by.
All right. Well, let's raise one up with everybody who's watching and listening. So cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Salute.
Oh.
Ooh, that's the good stuff. Is that good?
Half Cheetah Wolf, you said, what about the Smashing Pumpkins? Oh, that's... Wait,
exactly. I do like those pumpkins.
I know there's a story behind the Smashing Pumpkins, but I can't remember.
Yeah. That I have?
No, it's Christy that hates him, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which way it was going.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was her that was the huge fan and you hated it.
Yeah.
But then it clicked that she's
they were huge in 1990, 91, 92 when we were in college, and so we listened to them all the time. Their first two albums, amazing.
Gish.
And then get out of college, met Christy, my ex-wife, and I was, as you know from another story, I was winning all manner of free concert tickets, and I took her to see the Pumpkins at least 4 times, maybe 5. And yeah, she could not stand them. I think she suffered through the first 1 or 2. After that, she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me again?"
I remember her telling me the story.
Yeah,
you kept on getting tickets for him, and she was like, I can't stand this goddamn band.
Right?
She's like, but Bob keeps on getting tickets.
Yeah. She couldn't even get mad because I didn't spend our money for it. I won the tickets, so I'm like, we're fucking going. She's like, I don't want to go. And then,
should that tell you something about the band that they're constantly giving the tickets away?
What radio stations give it away?
Did she ever give you a reason of she just doesn't like the music, doesn't like the band?
I think that whole era of music didn't do like grunge and all the offshoots of grunge, and I think you could put the Pumpkins up there with they came out around the same time as Nirvana and Pearl Jam. It just didn't really do much for her, which is fine. It's not for everybody. Not everybody loves grunge,
right?
But She probably, if it was Pearl Jam or Soundgarden or someone else like that I had taken her to 5 times, I'm sure she would have hated them too. It was just the sheer, she didn't like them to begin with. And when you have to see somebody that you don't like over and over and over again.
Well, yeah, people usually aren't,
you know,
at the 5th time, like, you know what?
right.
They're growing on me.
Now that this has been forced down my throat 5 times, 5 different concerts, I think I'm starting to come around.
Now, there is a funny coda to the story, which is in the last calendar year, in the last 12 months, she went to go see a concert with her girlfriends. And I want to say it was Green Day. But opening up for Green Day were the Smashing Pumpkins.
Of course.
Yeah. So, I got a text from her. She's like, I just found out who the opening band is for this fucking show we're going to, and you're not going to believe who I have to go see. I'm like, then just don't go early. I mean, they're the opening band. You just miss them or go and then hang out in the parking lot and tailgate. Like, you don't have to see them. But it was that was it. There wasn't tailgating. Like, they weren't going to Pine Knob to like an amphitheater where you could party in the parking lot. They were going to Comerica. So you're either in Comerica or you're not in Comerica. And they didn't want to miss Green Day. So there was no escaping it unless you're going to hang out by the hot dog vendor out on the causeway.
But you can still hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. She was like, son of a bitch. Why does the universe keep punishing me in this way? And I'm like, man, I'm really sorry, but that's kind of funny.
The only thing that could have been better if at some point during that concert, Billy Corgan was like, Christy?
You look like someone that followed us around back in the 90s.
Exactly.
I remember you at all those concerts.
Yeah, what a huge fan you were.
Come to the stage if you've been to at least 3 of our concerts.
At one point, she said, I really thought about going down there and charging the stage and just beating the fuck out of him while he was in the middle of the song. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Don't do that, obviously. But yeah, that would be super funny.
I think there would have been a very slim chance of her making it to the actual stage.
I mean, she doesn't look like someone who's going to beat the fuck out of somebody on the stage.
But
she might have gotten up on stage.
I agree. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
No.
Don't sell her short.
No, because
Right.
that's the thing. As long as I've known Christy,
Yeah.
There's a certain point. There's something that clicks, and that face turns.
Oh, that Sicilian omerta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, contrary to your guys' belief, I think that that face would have came over her, and anywhere near that stage, she would have got. Oh no!
I think she would have gotten on the stage.
Oh no! She's not able to hide it. There's no way that she would have been. There's no way she just went like, ha ha ha, hello security guards, and then like,
wait,
son of a bitch.
Is that her move to get on stage?
Hello security guards.
Hello security guards.
That works 100% of the time. Yeah. Every time.
That's true.
But yeah, no, it would have just the second she would have taken off for the stage. I can picture in my head just the rage-filled look that she'd have on her face.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, of course the security would have they would have seen her a mile away, like, look at this crazy lady charging the stage.
You may have a point there.
And she would have got the old clothes arm, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And Billy Corgan would be like, Christy.
Yeah. I've waited so long for this moment.
The only reason we're playing this concert tonight was so that I could see that happen to you.
Yeah. Yeah, if Detroit wasn't even on our tour, when I told my manager, I'm like, no. Somehow we got to figure out a way.
We were in Grand Rapids. We just came down here.
We haven't been to Detroit since 96, and that's changing this year. And here's why. I'm going to tell you why, but it can't ever leave this room.
This is a top secret.
Yes. I have a nemesis that I want to take out. Oh, is it like a biker gang or something? No. It's
Her name's Christy.
It's a single lady from Dearborn. Yeah. So it was a good ending to. I'm like, okay, I can fucking tie a bow on it now and call that chapter done. It only took 30 years, but
playing the long game.
Long con is the best con to play, Corey.
Hey, I don't disagree.
Yeah. I'm excited though about we haven't done Funkos in a while. And if you're ready,
Uh-oh.
that's what I wanted. Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. How long has it been since we've done a Funko segment?
Too long. Because the
I can't
music
believe it's
is
finding
the
the music.
bomb. The music is the bomb.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Funko this. Funko this.
Funko This. It's been a long time since you've heard that one, hasn't it, buddy? A long, long time.
Oh my God, that makes me laugh.
I forgot about it until I hit the button, and I was like, oh, I know what's coming after this.
Oh, it tickles Todd's funny bone like you wouldn't believe. Tickles that funny bone.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever done.
All right, what do you got, Cory?
So for this week's Funko This, I shouldn't say this week. This installment of Funko
This year's Funko
Yeah.
This.
Don't get me wrong. Danielle and I have still been on our putting some stuff in the collection here and there, but nothing crazy. Nothing that I really need to show you guys until we got this past NFL season. If you went on the Funko website, you could pop yourself. And
Shut the fuck up.
so
What?
Danielle and I
No fucking way.
got
Holy shit.
these two.
So, wait, hold on. Time out. Okay. Okay. I have so many questions.
That's awesome.
First of all, did you both design your own Funko, or did one of you do them both?
No, she did both of them.
Okay. Is there some reason that she didn't give herself anything for her right hand? She gave you a beer, which
I know.
is very,
yeah.
apropos. Way to go. Thumbs up.
No, I don't think she ordered the beer for hers.
I mean, there probably was all manner of shit she could have been holding.
No, it was very limited.
To what? To just alcoholic beverages?
I think
And wieners, I imagine.
Big old floppy dong. Oh, you mean a hot dog?
I'm talking
hot
about hot dog.
My bad, Todd. My bad. No, I think it was literally just the beer and the foam hand that you could order. Or
Because I was going to say the grass is way too big for your wiener, Cory.
Oh no, that's true. It's called overcompensation, Todd.
But clearly you. So I'm looking at hers and I'm like, it's very flattering. It looks great. Even down to the shoes, which I feel like was a choice, right? She's got the ripped up jeans. Yes, awesome. But then also what I would regard as being Chucks, right?
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, and you
Her
were able to
favorite shoes.
actually. She did yours with the flip flops and the shorts and the glasses. Like this is a high level of customization and personalized.
And the same height?
Taller than you still.
Actually, yeah, based on the hair, she's just a touch taller.
He was talking about himself. He was talking about me.
Oh, right.
I was just saying.
But so with all that customization, you're telling me that aside from a beer, there's nothing else she could have found that was appropriate for her to hold?
We can ask after the show. I honestly don't think, I don't think so.
I got to get the backstory there.
But what was and these were it was actually for the NFL because as you can see, she's got a Lions shirt on.
Yeah.
And then obviously the foam fingers for the Lions colors.
Mm-hmm.
But what was really cool, they also came. It was a 2-pack box they came in, and I didn't get a picture that I should have.
Wait, is this picture? This is not the picture they sent to you that you're just using for reference here. This is a picture taken in your house.
Yeah, this is next to our TV.
Okay. When did you get these?
Oh man, a couple months back. I've been wanting to show you these.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna feel like an idiot if I was over at your house the last time and I didn't even notice.
I don't think we had them the last time you were over there.
Okay.
But she had a picture that she originally took, but it wasn't the greatest one. And I've been meaning to take one for you guys, and I finally remembered today before we left.
Well, yeah. Well done.
So yeah, that's our custom Funkos.
Very nice.
Our Lions Funkos.
Are you able to share what you paid for these Funkos? Or do you want to keep it?
I am not
On the
actually.
down low.
I think it was $40 for both of them.
For both?
It was 20 a piece, I believe.
Jesus. Why didn't you? So we would have all done them for the podcast, in addition to these two.
I didn't even think it was Danielle brought it up to me the one day. I didn't even know she was going to do it. She showed me. I was
Thanks,
like, oh, that's
Danielle.
really cool.
Yeah. I need to know now why she kept this to herself. This is probably the coolest thing in my judgment, that you've ever shown on this segment.
Oh, I don't just, and then that's why I wanted to do it, because I know some of them aren't always up your guys' alley.
They're all pop culture, hence the name.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, no, I definitely had to show you guys these. So
yeah, we've talked about this in a lot of different ways, right, boys? We've talked about ordering custom Legos for ourselves. We've talked about, I think we've talked about this. We've talked about like, can we do our own Funkos? Can we do our own action figures?
Well, again, after the show too, we can always see, because I don't know. I think it still might be ongoing that they're doing this.
Yeah, let's absolutely. I mean, these are so good.
Danielle's your go-to contact for that.
I know that's code to like, I don't want to talk to you about it anymore.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying she's the one that ordered. She did everything with it.
Talk to the wife.
Yeah. Hey,
which is a thing that husbands should be able to say.
She
good on
set
you.
everything up, and they came in. They look awesome. So
holy shit. Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, man. So that's Funko This.
Very cool.
Boys, how are we gonna follow this up?
I know.
How indeed?
I think I know. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm gonna wait before you go. Can you bring up the stuff for grievances, and then I can do that while you step out.
We can do that.
All right, here we go. Airing of grievances, everybody.
The Festivus begins with the airing of grievances.
This doesn't crack up Todd in much the same way.
No, this is him getting serious now.
Yeah.
Starts cracking his neck.
I realized there had to be another way.
Jumping up and down a little
Cracking
bit.
the knuckles.
At the Festivus dinner, you gather your family around.
All right.
There we go.
And you tell them all the ways they've disappointed you.
Do you think we have any fans that don't get that reference, that aren't signed fans? I mean, apart from Cory. I think even Cory gets that reference, even though he's probably never seen the episode that it came from.
Negative.
Yeah. But I think he still gets, I stink?
I stink.
I think he still gets the reference.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm the only one with a grievance tonight.
And the camera's shining on me.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh, sorry, Cory. We talked about this before. You were trying to set up, so yeah. Give me where should I look? Camera 1, camera 2, right here. Here we go.
There
Okay.
we go.
Here
There
we
we go.
All right, so my grievance tonight, and I'm gonna need some help on this, boys. How do you spell do-rag? Anybody?
D-O rag.
One word or two?
Two. It's a hyphenated.
I would, in my head, it was hyphenated, but I would have accepted 2 words, right?
Yeah. D-O rag. Yeah.
Now, if you're unfamiliar with the term, when Todd and I went to college, and we're in the weight room or football practice, whatever, a lot of guys would wear a do-rag, and it is essentially just a bandana that is not a headband, but it's over the head, tied in the back.
Yeah, so you don't get those marks on your nugget, or
Yeah.
and it doesn't mess up your fro-hawk.
But yeah, well said. But a lot of guys would still wear those, like on the weekends. If you
Out and about.
had
Steve
showered.
Kinney did.
Yeah, like it was like almost instead of a baseball cap. And
Yeah,
granted, this was
absolutely.
this is late '80s, early '90s, so it's a different world now, maybe. But I saw somebody refer to a do-rag in some Instagram reel, and it made me stop scrolling, and I'm like, wait, what? And they spelled do-rag, D-U-R-A-G, one word, and I'm like, what's a durag?
Durig.
Right,
Durag.
I don't get, and then I read the
Dwarg.
I read the article, and I'm like, no, they mean a do-rag, and I'm like, wait a minute, am I just remembering incorrectly? Am I off about this? So I Googled it and found out that no, in fact, it's supposed to be D-O space or dash R-A-G because the do was
It's
for
hairdo.
your hairdo, right? That you're protecting from, or an alternate was a do-rag, DEW space RAG.
So you kept the
The
moisture off
sweat.
your head?
Yes. Yeah, but not DURAG one word like that. I'm like, that is the dumbest. It doesn't make any sense. And
Dwarg.
apparently it's common usage now. That's how it's doing. And my grievance is with common usage, not with a particular word. Fuck common usage. I think that this is not a political podcast, so we don't talk about politics in the show. But I think, given the world that we're in, common usage can go fuck itself. There's the right way and the wrong way to say words. You can't just start making up spellings for words that meant something, and the spelling of the word reflected the meaning of the word. You can't just start doing that. No. I'm throwing the gauntlet.
Not even.
Go ahead, Todd. Sorry.
I think.
Did we
But
just
you're
lose
right.
Todd?
Durig.
Oh,
Did we lose you, Todd? Are you there?
no, he's there.
No, I was
Okay.
yammering. I was kind of
I missed all
supporting
your
it.
yammering.
I was saying that if it was DU-rag, I would say, okay, maybe that's more phonetic. But one word, it's durig or
Right.
drag.
It sounds like the name of an alien in Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's not at all what it's supposed to be. And
Right.
I'm like, God damn it. To quote Walter Sobchak, does no one here give a shit about the rules anymore? There are rules.
This isn't Vietnam. This isn't Nam.
It's not Nam. Is it Nam? No, it's not Nam. So yeah, that's my grievance. You can call it petty if you want. I'm totally fine with that. But God damn it, it stopped me in my tracks this week, and I'm like, I got to bring this up in the show because maybe I'm the only one. If you two had been like, oh no, I've been saying it that way for years, I'd be like, okay, I guess it's just me then.
Can I ask you a clarifying question?
Clarifying question, of course. That's what the segment's for. We really should stop calling it airing your grievance and just call it, what's your clarifying question?
So if you were in Massachusetts, Bob, and you saw a sign that was PEABODY, what would you say that the name of the town was?
Oh, I would say Peabody.
Yeah.
But I know that massholes would tell me that I'm wrong, and it's actually Peabody.
Peabody,
and I would say that's common usage. Go fuck yourself. It's Peabody.
So what about WORCESTER then?
Well, that's already hard for me to pronounce. That's kind of one of my.
It's easy to pronounce, Bob.
I'm not sure why my
It's
mouth won't make the
Worcester.
sounds.
Worcester.
Yeah, and I think I've always pronounced it as Worcester
Warcaster.
because I think it's funny to say it that way. but I also recognize, like, I guarantee you that in the late 1700s or whenever Boston was founded, that's not how they pronounced it. That's definite Massachusetts speak, right? I have no evidence to support that in any way.
I know.
But I feel like it's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
checking.
Did I pass your test?
Not really, but
Furthest thing from passing.
Yeah.
exactly. If
You
call
couldn't have
it
done any.
passing,
You couldn't have
I
done
guess
any worse.
a D is technically passing. So yes, you passed, Bob.
Woo!
Flying colors.
All right. How far into the show are we, Corey?
34 minutes, sir.
Oh, okay. Must be time for another shot then.
I think it is.
I missed you fuckers. Last week was a bit of a shit show, but we were able to cobble together, I think, a good episode from bits and pieces from what we recorded. So definitely go check it out on anywhere we get a podcast. The name of the episode, as determined by majority vote, was Denogginated. And that may not make any sense to you unless you go like noggin. That seems like it's the head. Did one of you lose your temper or something like that? No, but it has something to do with the story that happened within the first 20 minutes of the show, which you should definitely check out. It's one of the highlights of Todd's performance in 2025. on this show. I feel proud and happy to say.
I'm just glad we got a working iPad.
Yeah, and we're working on that. But anyway.
I call it IPID.
Fucking common usage. Be the death of me on this show. Is Patrick still out there? Cheetah?
He was.
He was?
Yeah, I did.
Not sure if I answered his original
Patrick
question
and Dylan. Dylan had a comment about Cory's freaking.
No, he didn't say anything about anything.
I wish I could see the chat.
No one cares what Dylan said.
If only someone other than Cory could tell me what he said in the chat.
Oh,
no one
said.
He said Todd's going to get
Callie
muted
said Cory's
very
hair
quickly.
makes him look
All
like
right,
Lord
there we go.
Farquaad.
All right, and Todd's muted.
All right, well, Todd, apparently you're muted, but I'm sure you can still
he's
hear
unmuted now.
I'm sure you can still hear me.
Yeah. Hey, Lord Farquaad.
Okay. You want to go and mute the entire show, bud?
Fine by me.
I have no problem doing it.
No,
Fine by me. My
doesn't.
cooler's full, bitch.
That's true. He has a lot to do just sitting watching us pull all the weight, carry the whole show.
Yeah.
All right, so once
Patrick's still around. Salute.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh, is that good? That's really, really good.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you, too. If you're looking for that this weekend, I'm pretty sure Old Smoky makes a version of it, too.
Just plain whiskey, not like a like key lime pie, sort of a cinnamon toast crunch type shot. That's in a mason jar.
Yeah,
right?
that's what Todd has.
Oh, Todd, it's Old Smoky? No,
it's not Old Smoky. But it's in a mason jar. It's
okay.
moonshine.
It is a mason jar. Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'll see.
It's the original backpacker brand, Bob.
You know, that place over by Nick's actually carries a lot of Old Smoky shit.
I can check Kelly Corner too. They have a ton of it.
Yeah, I may send you a reminder. Like
That's called a crack house.
They got a lot of good stuff there.
Listen.
You know that place over by Nick? Yeah, the crack house. There's a lot of Old Smoky shit in there. Those are ladies, Bob.
All right,
it's old dusty shit.
Let's let's switch it up a bit, and rather than giving you the spotlight back, let's shine it over on Mr. Dylan for 90 Second Sports. I think that's probably what's called for here.
90 Second Sports. Second Sports.
There we go. Waiting for the drums to kick in.
Yeah.
Wait, why did you wait so long to make that drop on there?
I'm waiting for every time.
No, not you.
Oh. Todd?
When Todd made it.
Because
why are you looking
answer
at
that
my
question?
creative genius?
Do you want? Yeah, Todd's answer is my creative genius. The real answer is I didn't give him a definitely keep it under 25 seconds rule. And everything he said back to us was like 3 or 4 minutes long.
I was going to say, see what happens when you don't.
This isn't the longest version of this.
I'm sure it's not.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's not.
That's the short one.
It was
the
like,
short one.
Yeah, we could probably put an hour show together if we just chained all the jingles together, which isn't a bad idea.
And Patrick says he's still waiting for his invite back.
Yes, Patrick, thank you. We have not forgotten about you. It's been a bit of a weird last 5 or 6 weeks to try to, put a show together. Stuff's been coming up, and that's not an excuse. But yes, we have not forgotten. Let me look.
It sounds like an excuse.
Let me look over the next couple of weeks
excuse.
and see what we got. Shut
You
the
know
fuck up,
excuses you
Todd.
like, don't you?
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. All right.
You're out of your element.
You like.
Sports, Todd. What's going on in the world of sports?
Dudes. Literally, dudes and ladies. Can you believe we went right from an amazing March Madness? And by the way, I have to come clean. On the last show we talked about this. I thought that I was going to walk away with the inaugural March Madness trophy for winning the tournament, but I did not win. Bob, you won the thing.
Yeah, he says just as surprised as you.
I know. Even though I picked Florida to go to the final to be in the final game. Bob's heroics early on actually won him the prize because my bracket got busted when Duke lost. So Bob ended up winning. So Bob was first, I was second, and I was third. But
hold on a minute. But my bracket was dusted when State lost, which was before Duke lost.
But remember, I was ahead even. I didn't get enough points for Florida making it to overcome the deficit.
I was to say that's what happens when you have 3 people in a bracket race.
I honestly, even if it was just me and Todd, I still am shocked that I didn't lose that.
I was shocked too, but I come clean when I lose. So congratulations, you are year 1 winner of our inaugural March Madness pool. So congratulations, you get your little trophy.
Thank you, sir. I will enjoy it while it lasts.
And just some inside info, Todd. Bob comes clean too when he's sitting in his car at 3 a.m. outside of
the record store.
Outside of the record store.
A little bit of jerkins and some.
You gotta keep that vinyl clean, Cory. You can't touch the insides. You only handle it by the outside. You don't put it on the turntable, and you definitely don't. You definitely come clean.
I think we're talking about 2 different things, but yeah.
Anyway, back to sports,
Yeah.
and then we fast forward from an amazing tournament to what? A tradition like no other, the Masters. Dudes, I love golf. I don't watch many of the regular tournaments anymore because I think the combining of the two.
Hold on. Did you say you don't watch turnips anymore?
Tournament golf much anymore, but you got to watch the Masters.
Okay.
You got to watch the Masters and the Open and the majors. I would say I still dial in and take a look and watch the Masters. And again, this year's Master is not disappointing. We have the smooth operator, Rory McIlroy, shot a 66 today, an unbelievable round at Augusta today, going up against the big hitter, Bryson, the bonehead DeChambeau. Long hitter. Dude looks stiff as a freaking as a baseball bat when he swings, but that dude brings the thunder. And makes the tournaments exciting because he takes lots and lots of risks and bombs the ball. And so it is a heavyweight matchup. He's -10, Rory's -12, and they are. I think they're both. Rory's 2 clear of DeChambeau, and I was checking earlier. The rest of the field, I want to say they're fairly clear. Yeah, the next closest person is Cory Connors at -8, and so barring some sort of unusual meltdown, it'll be a duel between Rory and Bryson tomorrow for the championship for the Masters, and this will be Rory's first green jacket.
It'd be Bryson's too, right?
Yes. So and again, if you can't tell, I'm rooting for the smooth operator.
Yes, of course. And
anybody who blames losing a tournament on the people who made his driver, I can't root for them.
Well, but Rory has already choked in the last year on a tournament that he should have won.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Rory fan, so I'm hoping he pulls it out. But I wanted
luck
to
of the Irish, baby.
Luck of the Irish. I wanted to add to that to say that today in the 3rd round, he's set a record. The first time anyone in the history of the Masters has recorded 6 consecutive threes in a round.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that is pretty. That's dialed in. Did you see how those greens were rolling, Bob? They were slick today. Holy moly.
I played on fast.
The greens were fast.
You're thinking of your hockey days.
Oh, yeah, that's ice.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I do have something to add to sports, if you guys don't mind.
Is it Masters related?
It's not. It's
okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's let Todd finish with the Masters first.
Well, I can be done with the Masters. I think even if you're not a huge golf fan, I don't know the people who listen to us if they're big golf fans or not. Tomorrow is going to be amazing. I'm hoping that Rory doesn't choke, but you're going to see some really, really amazingly talented people do some amazing things on Sunday. So this is and on a course that is manufactured and made to be one of the most difficult around. So please make sure you tune in. It should be a great show tomorrow between Rory and Bryson.
Todd, before we end the Masters and dish it back off to Cory for more other sports, have you heard about the mud ball controversy in these Masters?
I have not.
I was just reading something today, and I don't know a ton about it, but I know that Jordan Spieth was bitching about the mud balls on the course, which apparently the Masters staff, the PGA, doesn't want you to talk about, because at Augusta everything is great.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and this is and he's like, listen.
So hang on for a little more insight.
I
have not heard this,
okay.
but I feel like I know, obviously, by the term mud ball.
Yeah.
But are you saying, like, so basically, like, balls are getting stuck in mud or caked in mud?
Yeah.
And you're not allowed. You're obviously, when you're in the
No
fairway
lift,
and all
clean,
that.
and replace.
Yeah, you can't.
Yes.
You can't pick up and clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending upon the type of shot you have to hit because of your lie, because of where you got to go, you might dig in a little bit more on the ball, and the ball. He's like, my ball. He's like, it's not. It's another factor to deal with. Like, this is I'm paraphrasing a quote from Jordan Spieth, but he's like, listen, we're not really allowed to talk about this kind of shit, but there's a couple of holes like 11 and 13 where like my ball is 75% caked in mud, and it definitely affects your shot. It affects the lie, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't aware, and then I start reading. I'm like, oh, this is not the first time that a golfer has complained about that at Augusta.
You know what I say?
I think I do.
What do you think I say?
Yeah, put your big boy panties on. And,
You're a professional goddamn golfer.
Well, I was going to say, I got
Figure
something
that
easier
shit
to
out.
say.
Yeah.
No, I have something easier to say. Hit
Okay.
the ball where Rory's hitting it.
Well played, sir. Yeah,
Hit the ball where Rory's hitting it.
If everyone
You
was
don't have to
having the
worry
problems that
about the
Spieth
mud
was
ball.
having, then Spieth would be tied for the lead, but he is not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Seems as Rory and Bryson and Cory and Patrick and Ludwig and Jason and Scotty and Shane and Justin, just to name a few, aren't complaining about mud balls.
I think it was a little bit of showing off there.
Thank you for putting me in there, Todd. I appreciate that.
Corey Connors,
Corey Connors, yeah.
-8.
Well, we didn't have to specify. We could have just left it at me.
I call you that all the time.
He's got an
Corey
he's got an
Connors.
E.
Yeah.
He's got an E in his Corey.
Oh well, he's stupid.
All right. Well, sorry. Moving on from the Masters.
Yeah, Corey's got sports. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tigers, man. So after the last couple games, have you been seeing who's been hitting a lot of home runs?
Does he have a torpedo bat?
Torkelson. Danielle has a huge bone to pick with you, sir.
About what?
The end of last season, middle of last season,
Mm-hmm.
you and her had a conversation, and you're like, Torkelson. You're like, what an
sucks.
idiot. He's terrible. We should get rid of
He
him.
is horrible.
He's never going to produce anything.
Uh-huh.
Never.
He currently sits at 10 home runs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna
She's
get.
like-
You know, he's gonna get. He's gonna be suspended in 2 weeks, Corey. You know that, right?
For what?
He's been doping.
Oh, good for him. More players should do
Oh,
it.
wait. Todd, are you saying I'm about to have the last laugh in this whole thing? Because if that's the case, I'll just end it right here. Won't say a word. We'll move on to the next thing. But if you're just blowing smoke, then I have a retort.
Todd's just thinking that he's hitting too many home runs to be not doping.
Oh, is that your stance, Todd?
That's my stance.
Okay.
Because he sucks. They should trade him to the Mariners. He's not very good.
So my retort is,
That's weird. The Mariners.
yeah.
Where do you live at, Todd?
Somewhere south of the Arctic Circle is what I
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I have to look at the record books to see exactly how young Spencer Torkelson was doing at the end of last season. I would find it odd that I had that conversation with her when he was in fact doing really well at the time. Kind of seems like he wasn't. If he's doing great now, like, yeah, of course. They didn't trade him, and all of a sudden he found his bat, and I'm like, perfect. 100%. I'm all on board.
Dude,
Am I supposed to stand with my original stance now that he's doing
You have
good?
to
Like,
now, yeah.
Why?
You can't change your mind on that. You said he's a piece of shit.
I said he was batting like a piece of shit probably, and maybe the stats would bear me out. If the stats back up my stance that he was batting like shit at the end of the last season, then I don't think there's any beef to be had. If he wasn't, and I was just shit talking him, then yeah, I'm to blame, and I owe Danielle an apology.
Todd, do you hear that? It sounds like someone's digging.
No, I'm just
digging themselves out of that hole.
No, I'm stating like there's only two ways this goes, right? Either I was right and he sucked, and then he turned it around, which players in a hole sometimes do, or he was doing great and I was shit talking him, in which case, shame on me.
I think it's the latter.
He only
If
has
that's the
4
case,
home
like I said,
runs.
I'll apologize.
He's got 10 RBIs. He still sucks, Bob. He's all right. You're all right.
No, he has way more home runs than 4.
Mariners don't want him then? He sucks that bad?
He sucks. We don't need him.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Every home run he's hit.
I've been watching the games. I've been watching him too.
Danielle's like, yeah, fuck you, Bob.
I mean, great, but it's not like I root for the fucking Cubs or the Phillies.
I'm just saying.
I want the Tigers to win. I don't care how they do it.
I'm just bringing up a point that's been a part of my life now for the last 4 Tigers games. So,
well, I guess my apology then should be to you who had to listen to that for the last 4 games. I don't know why I'm apologizing. I didn't say anything, but
I'll take it.
on behalf of Danielle, sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, he sucks. Yeah, he's not very good.
Not from what I've heard.
All right.
Hey, last bit of sports.
Yeah.
I was remiss. Congratulations to the Florida Gators on winning the NCAA tournament in the men's side, and UConn, their 12th national title. Amazing. Go UConn. Go Florida Gators. Great tournament, both sides.
Did we talk about this last week? The championship game
On the men's or women's side?
Men's side.
We didn't talk. Well, we didn't. It was actually we traded texts about the Houston guy who had been clutch all tournament long, choking in the last 3 minutes, dribbling the ball 2 minutes, dribbling the ball off his leg, and then not taking that shot that he had to take to try and win the game.
The very last play.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents into your comments, is that I was supremely disappointed to see the end of the game end that way. Like, hats off to the Florida Gators. They played a hell of a game.
Yeah.
They deserve to win, but that's not how you want to win. That's
it's
definitely not how you want to lose.
And I think here's the thing, right? The players, and here's the other thing I want to. Actually, I'm glad you brought it up. I have a grievance. Go back. I know we're not in the grievance section, but talking about sports, I didn't realize before.
With the airing of grievances.
Sorry, I just had to. I couldn't help it.
My beef is, I didn't realize this before before they actually got to the Final Four. They had to remind all the fans of the teams that made it not to berate and taunt and heckle the teams, the players when they lost, not to harass them. And I'm like, did people lose sight that? And again, I know that from an age perspective, these gentlemen, most of these kids are over 18, so they're technically adults. But the fact that fans have to be kind of cautioned not to taunt and belittle these are student athletes. This is. I think that the fact that we have to be kind of told that not to harp on these guys, I wanted to bring that up based on the fact the way it ended for Houston. Nobody should get down on that kid. He's going to bounce back. I hope that he makes it to the next level in the NBA. And by the way, Michael Jordan missed far more shots to win games than he made. People always remember the ones that were made. And hopefully next time he has the courage to just take that shot. If it gets blocked, that it's a whole different thing. I think in the moment, though, the moment was too big, and people can bounce back from that. I don't think that we're often really hard on these guys and women when they make a mistake. And literally 99% of us, we would choke or not take the shot as well. And for us to put that on them, and even though they're playing at a very high level, they're still human beings, and sometimes they have a challenge of confidence. And so, that's the last take. I thought it was a great series, and at the end of the day, Florida pulled it out, and their best player, by the way, sucked all game long. Right, the guy who was the hero of the game for Florida missed all of his shots in the first half. He didn't get his first points until like 8 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and they turned it on.
Correct. So at the end of the day, I think it was a great tournament. I would have loved to see Calvin Sampson win a tournament because I mean I love his history, especially his family's history. His dad's super famous in North Carolina. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes. So Calvin Sampson is Native American, and his dad was one of the 500 Native Americans who threw the KKK out of their town. So I was rooting for Houston. Plus most of my family lives in Houston now, so was rooting for Houston. But great game, great series, great tournament, man, great tournament. Both sides, and again, the Huskies beat them cocks. Gotta love it.
Beat them cocks.
Oh, and that's 90-second sports.
All right, we're gonna before we jump into gentleman's agreement, I just got a real quick aside to add. As some of you know, not our audience, but some of you know, I do a March Madness trip every year to go see the games. This year we went to Lexington, and one of the guys that goes on the trip hails from a state that is that does not allow
gay marriage,
marijuana.
Oh,
gay marijuana. They do not allow it.
No gay marijuana.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
They don't allow it. So he asked me before I went on the trip, "Hey, would I be willing to pick up some gummies for him and his wife?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna send you here's the website to the dispensary I go to. Go ahead and pick what you want, and I'll get it as much as I can anyway, and then you can pay me for it, and I'll bring it." So I drove it down there, gave it to him. He paid me no problem. I just got this text from him tonight. He actually sent this to the text thread for the March Madness group. He said, "So my wife doesn't like to read instructions or labels and just got into my mega gummies.
Oh, shit.
After I saw that she was in them, I asked her if she knew what they were. She said, yeah, they're 5 milligrams. I said, no. The 5 is the number of gummies in the bag. They're 40 milligrams. Needless to say, she's a fucking puddle right now."
That's nothing.
40 milligrams?
Yeah, that's nothing.
I've never done 40 milligrams. You may have, but I remember...
Allegedly.
I remember once upon a time on the beach, we all did 20 milligrams, and I was a legitimate puddle. This is double that.
That was basically the first time we ever did anything.
Yeah. Well, I'd never done more than 5 before that, I think.
Yeah, no.
But instead of going to 10, we went to 20 because we took another...
Because Nick screwed us.
He did.
Smashed 2 of them together and then gave them down.
Yes. Well, I'm not blaming
Allegedly.
I'm not blaming anybody unless that someone is Nick. But I'm like, I got to share this with the group. So I'll continue to give updates as they come in throughout the rest of the episode.
Oh, she's done. She's
no, from him.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she's done. The only other update is she's now sleeping.
No, there might be some more craziness that happens. If there is, I will share. But anyway,
for someone that's if they don't do it on a regular basis,
they do it they do the 5 or 10 just to sleep. And this is 4 times the most that they've ever done.
Yeah, 40s might be rough on. I mean, it's not. Yeah. It's really not a lot, but for someone that doesn't partake,
unless you're used to doing it, or even coming halfway there. But I don't think she is. So I'll keep you posted. All right, moving on to gentleman's agreement.
Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen.
Todd, get a shot ready.
Gentlemen's agreement. Oh, gentlemen's agreement. Oh, it's the motherfucking gentlemen's agreement.
All right, Todd, get yourself a shot ready, I think.
Shots ready, baby.
Okay. Every now and again, I'd like to just refresh the audience as to what we're doing here. Gentleman's Agreement is a segment in which we assign each other movies or TV shows that we've watched and we like that we think that they will like. And so you got to watch it and you got to come back and give a spoiler-free review, and we're going to talk about it, which is what's going to happen right now, and then after that, we'll do new assignments for next time. So, with that being said, I feel like I want Todd to go first just because
Let's start this segment out with a shot.
Shot. Yeah, I thought we were doing a shot. I'm ready.
Yeah, we're doing a shot.
All right, let's do it.
I feel like I want
a
Todd
very-
to start after the shot because I feel like it makes him, it gives him
Superfly?
anxiety for me to have him go first every time.
Superfly?
And he's
I'm
just
ready.
a super fly. I feel like I want him to go first.
I'm ready. I'm ready, bitch.
All right. Post time.
Huh?
Post time.
What?
Post time.
The more you
Time for
say
shot.
it,
Time for shots. You've never heard that?
no.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's an old racetrack saying.
Oh, well.
Yeah, let's do
Either
it.
way.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
All right, Todd.
That is scrump delicious.
You had to watch
Is that good?
Sly Lives, a.k.a. The Burden of Black Genius, from me.
I did. Bob,
Yeah.
you know me really well, don't you? You do know me really well.
I know that I'm going for that record of 3 straight A's.
Oh my
over Cory.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So spoiler free. Here's spoiler free. Let me start it this way. When I told Mary what I had to watch, Mary said, who's Sly and I go, I'm watching this documentary about Sly and the Family Stone. And Mary said, who's that? And I go, are you kidding me?
Did you make her watch it with you?
She didn't. She friggin' was not interested at all.
Wow.
What an amazing
Guess
documentary.
who else has a beef with somebody's wife on this show? It's me.
What an amazing documentary, because for anybody out there, go if you have Amazon Music or iTunes or anything else, for a refresher, just say, hey, play songs by Sly and the Family Stone, and immediately you'll realize, oh yeah, that's a really good song that's really old that still stands the test of time. And then watch this documentary and look at what amazing songs people sampled from the music that they were doing. What Sly was so far ahead of himself. And it really, what drew me in, Bob, was this. Because a long time ago, when I was a fan of Kid Rock, one of the things that I was really impressed by was we went and saw him play a private concert at the Renaissance Center. And when it opened up, Kid Rock started on the drums and actually moved and played guitar and played basically keyboards, guitar, drums to open his show. It was a private concert that I was at, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize he could play multiple instruments. And then when I saw, similarly at the Super Bowl, I saw Bruno Mars open up doing the same thing, where he played every instrument in the band at the Super Bowl when it was in New York City. And then to see that Sly from Sly and the Family Stone, he's like the inventor of that, but on a whole nother level. He only needed all those other musicians to actually play the music when they were alive, but when it came to making the albums, he actually was the better musician at every position. And if you're a fan of music like I am, and hopefully this is coming off, again, spoiler free, and he's still alive, he's 82 years old, and they bring up some pretty fascinating points. A lot of people seem to be okay with watching people who are musical geniuses or geniuses in some way kind of fall from grace due to drugs. And this documentary highlights the fact that, unfortunately, a bit of color, because of community, people are like, so far out of his time, he didn't have anybody to go and kind of talk to around advice around how to deal with it, especially given that he was first talented as he was this man for this band. He was terrified to go out into the audience. Great documentary. You did it, Bob. You get a straight A for this one. No A minus. This is a straight A. If you like music, watch Sly Live. I can't remember the whole thing. Watch the documentary. Sly and the Family Stone, amazing, amazing. A.
Yeah. It was on. I think it was Hulu. But it's called Sly Lives.
It was Hulu, yes.
Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius, and you're breaking up a bit during that, Todd. And I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but hopefully it's not like
It'll be
I had
nice.
to watch Sly Lives. Great documentary. You get an A. Like hopefully I.
No, you can catch it.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
All right.
Just leave it in there.
All right. Cory, you had to watch Mississippi Burning, also from me.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's the result
a
of
week behind.
It's the yeah.
Yeah. So old movie.
Hold on. When you say
Tough.
old.
Tough. It was tough.
Was
to
it
find.
made before you were born?
Yeah,
So
oh,
1951?
Oh, was it?
1951?
No, not 51 when Bob was born, but
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm trying to find
It was
out.
in color, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm now thinking maybe you watched the wrong movie.
No, it was definitely the right movie.
Okay. Was
Oh,
it
okay.
1988.
Yeah, it was in '88. So I was a year old. Not
yeah.
even.
So okay. I think I'll take your apology right now.
Oh, I wasn't offering one.
You heard it, folks. He owes me an apology. That's one in the bank.
Yeah. It was a long movie. It's like
Okay.
2.5 hours.
Okay.
I mean, it's got a great cast. Gene Hackman, William Dafoe. There was a couple other guys throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, it is Willem Dafoe. It's a weird spelling.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Yes,
yeah,
it is William. Yeah,
yeah.
my bad.
Totally cut you some slack for not getting that. That's not a
Yeah, I apologize.
no apology necessary.
And there were actually a bunch of other people in it that once I started watching it, I was like, okay, I got to look these people up because I've seen them
Yeah.
in a ton of other movies throughout
Right.
all the years.
But maybe character actors who you're like, oh, I don't know that guy's name.
Yeah. One of them being, what was his name?
Michael Rooker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because from Guardians of the
Guardians
Galaxy.
of the Galaxy. He played
And
Yondu.
yeah. And I'm like, I've seen this guy in a shit ton of other stuff. I just couldn't put my
Yeah.
finger on it.
Yeah.
And again, because he was just so young in that movie.
Right.
But anyways, the plot being, it's back in I can't remember the exact year, but it was segregation in the Deep South in Mississippi. I don't know, man. I don't want to say it was good because it
I don't want to say
I don't want to say
All
it
right.
was good.
I was wondering where this was going to go, but now I wonder no more.
I mean, you can't. You definitely can't have thin
It's
skin.
not a feel-good movie.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You definitely can't have thin skin watching it.
It's a lot of tough subject matter.
A lot of tough
in that
subject
movie.
matter, a lot of tough language
Yeah.
that some people might not appreciate. Now,
Absolutely.
and I'm not just talking about like, oh, one little thing here or there. Like, it's the entire movie.
It's
Which understandably,
Yeah.
due to the times and trying to portray
in the parlance of our times.
what was happening.
Right. Nothing? No.
Yeah, sure. But I say it was a good movie if you want to see how things could have played out in the Deep South in Mississippi during that time.
Yeah.
And it was very sad to see.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Danielle started watching it with me because she got invested in it very early on, and
Is this another thing she hates me for now?
no,
Do we have beef on two things now?
no. She
Okay, good.
just like some of the scenes, she was like, "Oh, they're not going to do that," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's part of what happened back then." And so I hate to say it, I'm sure, but I'm sure the way it was portrayed was accurate, but that's also the sad part to me.
Yeah.
So and especially as far as we've come from that, to have to.
But
to
we haven't
watch
come
it.
that far. That's the scary bit. That's why it's, again, not to be political, Corey. The problem, the interesting thing about that movie is the people who are the bad guys in that are trying to wash that so that people don't have to see it anymore. And that's the wrong direction.
Whitewashing history, you mean?
Correct. I mean, I think that's why the movie stands up. I mean, ultimately, we think that we've come a long way, and even if you are good, we all know people who haven't come that far from that, and again, that means that there's an underbelly. That's therein lies the rub. I think that movie puts it in your face, and so again, giving it a great grade because again, Gene Hackman, incredible actor, and remember these people are. I think I think when we grade these things, these people are putting themselves into that position, even when they don't feel that way. So that's kind of the amazingness of it, of the show and the acting of it. But ultimately, I don't feel that we've come that far from it because again, there are still sunset towns in this country. If you don't know what those are, look it up. But we haven't come as far as people think.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure.
I feel like you're dancing around it.
No, that's for us to have a different conversation.
Your feelings about the movie are 100% valid. You don't have to like it. You don't have to. Absolutely, 100% is difficult.
Yeah, and so that's where it's hard to give it a thumbs up, even a thumbs down. Because
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna I'll make it easy for you. The whole reason why I assigned it to you, I mean, secondarily was because I think it's a seminal film that everyone should see. And it was made at a time where you were very young. And I'm like, oh, there's a pretty good chance he's never seen this movie. But it happened to be coincide with the recent passing of Gene Hackman.
Yeah, and you watched his filmography or started going through some of it.
Yeah, rewatching some of the things that reminded me of what a fantastic actor he was. And so that's the only question I had for you was, what did you think about Hackman's work in that movie?
I mean, it's Gene Hackman, man. He's always
he already could do no wrong in your eyes.
I'm not saying he couldn't do no wrong, but he's one of those actors that's timeless, and his movies are always going to live on. But as far as the movie itself, like I said, it's hard to give it a thumbs up. There was a certain point where I'm like, okay, I might be done with this.
Yeah.
But I went through the entire 2 hours, 30 minutes, and I say it's as far as history, everyone should watch it to realize how things were at a certain time in a certain place, and it really makes you realize, like, holy shit, things were really fucked up, and still to this day, like Todd said, can still be fucked up. So yeah, I don't have a grade or a good or bad to give you.
Nope, no worries.
I appreciate the assignment. I'm glad I watched it. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's up to you. You guys go.
If you haven't seen it, that is the first time I think in the history of this show, and we're in the 320s as far as the number of episodes we've done, that I've ever heard a review end with, if you haven't seen it.
I mean, it's definitely not going to be for some people. Like I said, the dialogue and some of the scenery and shots are very rough and very hard to see.
Yeah.
And as a human being, that if you have any feeling for other people, you might not want to hear some of the things that are said.
But to Todd's point earlier, and I don't mean to, I don't mean to commandeer your take on it, Todd, but I think that movies like that are important so that we don't forget what the history of this country has been in certain areas where tolerance was not given. No quarter was given to by whites to other folks, and I think it's definitely something important to see, especially the older the movie gets, the older that all movies get, the less likely they are to be seen by the younger viewers.
Yep.
I will tell you this: if you want a good laugh, don't watch Mississippi Burning. That's for sure.
What if they cannonballed like Billy Madison and then Mississippi Burning, like one right after the other?
Nope, don't.
What if it was Billy Madison, Mississippi Burning, Happy Gilmore? 1, 2, 3 in a row.
You can put it any way you want to. I'm not going to agree with any alignments of movies to make you be like, oh, hilarious. Oh, okay, serious, and then wait. No.
And this is why if you're not following us, I think it's a mistake because we can make a joke out of Mississippi Burning, as we just did. Scene.
Originally, I was going to try to make a joke out of it, but I'm like, you know what?
We just did.
No, I was going to try to get on your Todd skid in a little bit, but I'm like,
now you don't have to.
I decided against it.
Yep, mission accomplished. All right, I had to watch Adolescence from Todd.
Yes.
Todd, again, to repeat myself from last week, you've got 2 in a row now. Straight A grade on this. I was aware of this series. It's a 4-part, 4-episode limited series on Netflix called Adolescence. It was co-written by an actor named Stephen Graham, who you may have seen in Peaky Blinders. You may have seen in a number of other movies, all of which are escaping me now. But I think at one point he played, with an American accent, he played Al Capone, and was maybe one of the best versions of Al Capone I've ever seen. But anyway, he co-wrote it. It was his idea. Brad Pitt produced it. I don't know how he got that to happen, but he also acted it as the father of a family of 4. And again, this is going to be spoiler free because I would really, really hate to ruin this for anybody. All I heard before I watched it was that it was really, really good, and the camera work was amazing, and the acting was incredible. I'm like, well, okay, and the fact that I knew who Stephen Graham was, I'm like, no, I'd absolutely give this a shot. Todd assigned it to me, and now I'm like, I have no choice. So I watched it, and all of those things were true and more. I got 2 main things to say about this show. First of all, the camera work. There are movies and TV shows out there where they do like long takes, and I'm not talking about Goodfellas, where Scorsese has a camera that follows Henry Hill and his girlfriend down through the bowels of the Copa to come out in front of the stage and get a seat there where they can watch Bobby Vinton. That's one take, and that's masterful. But there have been a lot of other scenes in movies lately, like 1917, I think is a good example, where there's a take that lasts for like 4 or 5 minutes that seems to be unbroken. But I know that it's CGI. I know it's CGI. They did different scenes and they stitched them together, and they've actually admitted as much after the movie was released. This is a totally different thing. There was no CGI here, and there were literally shots in the movie that I don't know how they did it. I watched it, and then
it's like they filmed it with a drone. They filmed the ground with a drone, but they filmed from the ground. It's like they filmed from the start in an office with the same drone. It seems like.
So I don't think it's a spoiler to say that every episode is like a play, where if the episode is 48 minutes long or 54 minutes long, there's no cuts. All of these actors learn their lines just like you would for a play, and they did the entire episode, not in one take, but it is a single take that they use because there are no cuts. And you realize when you're watching it that, oh, okay, if we're going from the house to the car and then driving to the hospital, and this is just an example, it doesn't have anything to do with the show, then when I get out of the car and I go to the hospital, like that's a break in the scene. Like we cut from the car to the hospital. And in my head, then normally the viewer goes like, oh, now I can take a drink of my soda. I can take a bite of popcorn. I can pause the movie to go to the bathroom, right? Because there's a break in the scene. And once you go to a new scene, then you have to establish who's in the scene, what are they talking about, what are we doing. But there was no break in the scene here at all, so I could not take my eyes off of the screen, and I felt this level of anxiety and excitement because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, and then we're literally following like people walking from one room to another, but they're all it's all in furtherance of the plot, right? So some of the shots, I don't know how they did it. I know there were drones involved, but how you get the camera from a handheld guy walking down the stairs to the car, then to an overhead shot of, I'm like, I don't know how they did it.
Easy.
The second point I want to make is the acting. The third episode, and again, no spoilers, but I will just say that the two actors that were the focal point in the third episode had to hold the screen and keep your interest for almost an hour. Just the two of them. And one of them was a character that we never met before. Brand new to the show. There's only 4 episodes. They were in the third one. They were not in the first 2. And I'm here to tell you that it was some of the best acting I've ever seen, because they had to convey the story is not easy to describe. Even if you're watching it, even if I was giving you spoilers, I'd be like, okay, episode to episode, you think it's going to go one way, but then it goes another way. And they had to convey that in the course of memorizing like 1 hour of lines to do in one take. And they didn't do just one take, they did several takes, but of the takes that they did, they used one of them, like start to finish, like 1 hour of acting. It was fantastic. It was unbelievable. And
Bob,
really
one other
sad
thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know the actor who played the lead police officer, the main police officer, the black guy?
Yes.
That was his first acting job.
Well, all I got to say about that is he's going to be really, really spoiled, because every other acting job he has is going to suck compared to this one.
But he was a rookie, dude. Isn't that makes that even more?
Well,
like I said, you're hitting all the finer points.
I feel
what
like
an amazing job.
This show was tailor made for someone who has done theater, because that's what you have to do a play. You have to memorize all your parts of the whole play, and you go out there and there's no cuts, there's no like stop, let's do another take. Like it's start to finish. You're gonna fuck up, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna have to adjust during the middle. You have to play off of your scene partners, and I feel like it was tailor made for that. So maybe it was his first film, and maybe he was a theater actor. I don't know, but unbelievable. And I should probably stop talking. I'm going on like way too long about this, especially for a spoiler.
No, it was awesome. Hey, Cory, did you? And this was when I unofficially assigned to Cory. Cory, have you seen it yet?
No, I've not watched it yet. I've been trying to catch up on some other stuff with Danielle. And I will say too, in defense of that question, dude, you got me so stuck on the Righteous Gemstones. I just finished the latest episode the other night.
Was it season 16? You finally finished season 16?
No, dude, they're only on season 4.
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to think of the highest conceivable number that.
Oh, it's only season 4, and
yeah.
They're still making new episodes, and
Yeah.
they're releasing them one at a time now.
Okay, so now you're like, what the fuck am I going to do with my life if I can't watch?
I'm all caught up, dude. I'm sorry, but that is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my entire life. Danielle's got invested into it now. There's been a couple other people I've recommended it to. So I was actually very upset when that last episode played and it didn't give me the play next episode. I was like, oh wait, no.
Oh no.
And I went back. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all caught up on it now.
Yeah.
So yes, now that I'm caught up on that, I
you're like trying to wipe the fucking sleep
I
out of
was
your eyes.
Oh, so it was the tears.
Pushing aside the empty pizza boxes and opening up the curtains for the first time in a week, going like, what is happening in the world today? I've been just watching mainlining the Righteous Gemstones for the last 7 days.
There were happy tears. There were sad tears.
Yeah.
And it all came together. But yeah.
Daniel's like, oh, thanks for rejoining the household after 1 week of being absent from my life.
Came out the sun was, I was like, ah!
All right, boys, let's do assignments, and then we'll put a bow in it for the night or for the week. Okay, so what I have come up with is Cory's last assignment was from me. Todd's last assignment was from me. But my last assignment was from Todd. So my next assignment has to be from Cory. I think it's only fair. And if that's true, that means that I can't have Cory. I have Todd, and Todd has Cory. Does that make sense?
Wait, hang on. So
Cory's got me.
Yep.
Okay.
I got Todd. Todd's got Cory.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I already got you. If
You got me?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hardcore Henry.
Seen it. Own it.
Son of a bitch.
All right. So enough of that.
I thought I had you.
That was fast.
I thought I had you.
That was fast. Todd.
Yep.
Have you seen Honora?
That's the new movie. Just won an Oscar.
One Best Picture, yeah.
Yeah. I have not seen it. No.
That's what you got.
You think I'm gonna like it?
You know what? I've got 3 A reviews in a row, which beats the current record by Cory.
Now Bob's going to tank himself.
But so I'm feeling a little cocky, and I really want to know what you think about it because I've seen it. I'm willing to take the A or not take the A, just to get your opinion of it.
Okay, I will watch it. I haven't seen it. I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
I saw the Oscars hype around it.
Yeah.
And it is not on my bucket list, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, won Best Picture. She won Best Actress. So it's worth a watch. All right. What do you got for Cory, Todd?
I had so kind of on the
Deep
based
South
on-
racism.
yeah. I was
movies?
gonna say.
Oh, perfect.
I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna say. Have you seen the movie? Till, Cory?
I'm just going to say yes.
Till?
No, I have not seen
Yeah.
Till.
Till.
Oh, like the football player?
No,
No.
not like the football player. Till. The movie's called Till.
Okay.
It's about Emmett Till.
Oh, yeah, Emmett Till. God damn, why didn't you just say so? You did. So, okay.
I'll go light on you this week though. That was my choice. I think that's a really good movie. But have you seen The Burial?
No.
Dude, take The Burial.
Burial.
Hang on. If Till was Todd's first choice that came to mind.
Let me quickly
It's
look
a
at
great
it, see what
movie.
it's about before I...
It's a great movie.
To quote Todd Dillon, I ain't no bitch.
All right, well,
All right.
I guess
That
I'm
answers
watching
that.
I guess I'm watching
Yeah.
Till.
Watch Till. Till.
right.
Okay.
Great movie.
All right, Bob. Where did my 2 picks go for you?
Where did my 2 picks go for Bob?
Have you seen Empire Records?
Yes.
I know you have not seen Tires, so you have Tires.
Tires?
Tires.
Like,
he's like,
tires?
I'm gonna reach into my.
is this a
drawer.
fucking documentary about tires?
No,
It's
it's
about
not a
Goodyear.
documentary.
It's not a documentary?
No.
Wow. TIRES.
Correct.
All right. I'm actually really curious as to what the fuck this is about. So you got that going for you, which is nice.
It's a good show.
Okay. All right, boys. That
Is it
puts
comedy?
It is.
Is it a
I don't
comedy?
know. I don't know what it is.
So it's called. Oh, it's gonna be good. I already saw who's in it. It's
You saw who's in it? Okay.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. All right, you boys ready to call it for the weekend?
Oh, I hate doing this, but
If
I
we
guess
have
so.
to.
Yeah.
If we have to.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's been a good show.
Hey, hang
Yeah,
on, real
sure.
quick,
Yeah.
real quick. Now that
Yeah.
we're wrapping everything up, and we all 3 of us definitely want to keep going, but we know it's time to call it.
Yeah. We
Okay,
could do a question if you want.
we can do that, and then.
Let's do that.
But what do we think about trying to do like a 24-hour live stream?
Ooh.
Hold on a minute.
Ooh, Cory, you freaking dangerous son of a bitch.
That would require
24 hours.
all of us to be available for 24 hours and have something to say for 24 straight hours.
Correct.
Dude, you don't think I
You
got nothing
think
to say
you've
for
got-
23 hours?
You think you've got something to say for 24 straight hours?
I
got 23
could.
hours straight.
Or we start light and do a 12-hour live stream.
You think that's light?
Yeah, that's pretty light.
What's the record? What's the Guinness Book record for the longest live stream?
Dude, it's gonna be weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm
not interested in like all of us sleeping on a live stream. Like it
No. I don't want to sleep and do all that.
Yeah. Why? And what brought this up? Why would we do this? Did
Because
somebody fucking dare you to do it?
No.
I love it. Do you know how many costume changes I could do in a 24-hour segment, Bob?
Oh yeah, you'd be like Madonna.
You damn Skippy.
She was a pop star for your young kids out there. She's a pop star.
Or yeah, for you young kids, it would slap for you youngins. It would slap.
Holy shit! Oh, so
those same younger people would tell you not to say slaps.
The longest
I said slap singular, bitch.
The longest live stream, 624 hours.
Yeah,
37 minutes.
We're not doing that.
55 seconds.
Sign me up.
This was achieved by...
Because I guarantee if we did 625 hours, we might get like 10 new viewers and we're all going to be like, what the fuck did we do that for? It brought us, it didn't move the needle at all. And then on the Guinness Book.
There was an audio-only live stream that lasted 55 hours and 26 minutes.
Oh, so the record for audio only, is that the record, 55 hours?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
it feels like we could do that. Bah.
I'm just saying. I think we should... Okay, even if you guys are going to... Well, not Todd. If Bob's going to be vagina about it. Yeah, I know.
First of all, this should be the topic discussed during a production meeting, not in the show.
No, I just want to throw it out there. And anyone listening to this...
Who thinks it's a horrible idea, chime in now.
Yeah.
Send us...
Swipe up on Grindr.
Hold on. If you're listening to this right now, and we want to know what you think, send us an email to schnozzcast@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram.
Or don't.
No. I want to know what you think.
Todd, you know what?
Remember that whole yes and thing we were talking about last week, Todd? This is where you're violating that.
Todd, I guess we just leave Bob out and you and I do a 12-hour live stream.
I'm in.
What?
I'm in for the 24, Corey. I think
leave Bob out?
That we could bring the thunder for 24 hours.
Especially
if we planned it out.
Let's find out from the fans what do they want to see? Do they want to see us do this? How are you interpreting that as I don't want to do this?
Because
the people want it.
No, you don't know what the fuck the people want. In fact, you just told the people, don't even tell us what you want.
Because you had to question it.
Jerome just started pacing at the other side of the room.
I'm not questioning anything. I'm merely saying...
He's like, 24 hours?
Muting Todd.
Hell yeah.
I'm merely saying all of our fans should... I want to hear from them. Like, do you want to see us do this?
It doesn't...
Don't you want to know if they want to see us do this or not?
I think we should just do it.
I know what you think. You've just sprung this on me in the last 5 minutes.
Unmute Todd. He's on my side. I need to hear what he's saying.
I don't need to hear... okay, I'm unmuting Todd.
All right.
I want to hear what our fans have to say. You cannot give a shit about what they have to say. I get it. You want to do it anyway.
Correct.
But I want to hear what they have to say. I think they have a voice.
I do too. But
and by the way, if we have 75 fans and they all say no, I think that counts for something.
Then we do it.
Boogers unite. Boogers. Send us an email, send us a text, or don't, and we're gonna do this 24 hours.
I'm in with you, buddy. I'm all for it.
Let's do it. All right, ask a question, Bob. Push the button.
I'm trying to shut the fuck up about the button. Even that goddamn button.
Push the button.
We actually do have existential question music.
No, he's talking about a completely different button that
I know he is, but
never describes to any of us. Yeah, well. All right, here's a good one.
We'll hit the button first.
God damn it. Hold on.
There we go.
Existential question of the week.
All right. Existential question for this week is as follows. Oh, I'm going to need a shot before we do this one, boys.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, boy. It's going to be one
let's
of them
go.
crazy nights.
In for a penny, in for a pound. That's what I say.
That's what
No sense in doing it half-assed. You're either 100% in or you're out.
I say in for a nickel or tickle this pickle.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Cory.
Thank you.
Cheers, everybody.
That's what she said. I'm ready, bitches.
We'll go.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Salute.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
All right.
That's delicious.
Question for this week, and if you're listening out there or you're watching on YouTube, give us your answer here. If you're listening in the future, we've already done this in the past. DM us on Instagram with your answer. Here's the question: what first made you realize you were getting old? Now, although Cory is the youngest co-host, I think you can still answer this question.
No, I know I can.
Yeah.
It's a matter of which option do I pick? Because there's been a lot lately, guys. There's been a lot lately.
Yeah, and I want to hear about it.
Same here.
All right, Todd, go with one of yours first, because yeah, this is
Right.
there's almost
number
too much to
one,
unpack.
the one that sticks out to me the most. The number one that sticks out to me the most. When did I realize I was getting old? For the better part of the last, I don't know how many years, like since the dawn of the mobile phone, I've slept with my phone next to my bed, and
the fact that
gotten
you're calling it the
all manner
mobile
of
phone.
texts and pages and whatnot.
The fact that you just called it the mobile phone. That's your answer.
One day, about a year and a half ago, as always, my phone went off. I got the little ding that let me know there was a text for me. And like overnight one day, I got a text ding. I grabbed my phone to look at it, and I couldn't see it. Like in one day, I went to bed one night, and the next day I woke up and my up close reading was horrible.
And
from that moment on, I couldn't read menus and restaurants. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm blind.
This is such bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why this is bullshit. I'm 55, which means I know that Todd is already 56. And at the age of 56, he's saying that only in the last 18 months has he first realized he's getting old. You are a lying piece of shit with that story. That's not the first time. There's no fucking way.
No, I'm serious. That was like the only time where
you thought you were young until 18
serious.
months
That was
ago.
First, until I went blind.
In Todd's defense,
I did.
Why are you defending him?
Because there's some people.
As the youngest guy who's about to also answer the same question in his 30s, you should also be going, fuck you, that's bullshit.
No, some people have.
No, it's not. I've been dominating for 54 years, Bob.
Some people have very good vision, dude. Sorry that you were not one of them.
The question wasn't about vision.
Exactly.
Do you want me to reread the question again?
It's about anything.
But
dominating every way, Bob.
That's what made him feel old. But you're saying that he is. There's no
But that's
way.
the first time he's ever felt old.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, dude, you really like the way your mind puts stuff
well,
together.
since you know me so well. Yeah. Since you know me so well, when did I feel old? When did I feel older?
You don't have to reference it. I understand what you're saying.
I'm going to read it again just for the record.
I understand what you're saying.
What first made you realize you were getting old? The first thing that made you realize that.
When I lost my eyesight.
54 and a half, he couldn't read.
Again, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But our brains just process.
If this was just me and Todd, I'd be like, well, good on you, man. But you're about to answer the same question.
Yeah,
20 years younger than he is.
Okay. Nope. Then you're right, Bob. You are correct. Now that you said it that way, you actually did. You now maybe remember another thing that maybe I tried to forget.
All right.
So
this was 5
So
months
this
ago.
is probably no. This actually this is true because I remember talking to a good friend of both of ours, Fletch, about probably 15 years ago. No, maybe a little bit more, like 17 years ago. I was out playing a pickup basketball game with some friends, and we were playing hoops, and I made a smooth ass move as I've been known to do on the basketball courts. Went to the hole and like went up and thought for sure that I was going to freaking lay the ball on the top of the rim, and about freaking 8 inches off the ground, I realized I'm not actually going to make it. And I mean, I continued to rise a little bit, but my hops were gone. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck just happened?
Now
Yes,
I'd
say in my late 30s, yes. I was playing pickup basketball, took a dude to the rack, and where normally I would have laid the ball, it would have been just short of a dunk. I realized that I had no more prowess above the rim. So yes, that was the first.
Thank you, Todd.
Sign, Bob.
That is an honest and selfless answer in the name of truth, and
that is true.
And
that is true, because I called Fletch.
Podcast.
I called Fletch, dude. I called him. I'm like, dude, today I was playing hoops and I was feeling good. I was hitting the J, dude, and I went to the rack. And my dad, all of a sudden, the rim wasn't getting closer like I thought it was supposed
to. I was about to go hard in the paint, and then the paint got me. And the paint got me.
Yeah, the paint was harder than I thought.
The earth, I thought the whole freaking change. For reminding me, Bob.
Thank you, sir. I can go next. This is an easy one for me. It's I'm going to say it was. I'm going to say I was probably 36. First time I rolled out of bed and had to limp down the stairs because I'd done something to not only my back but also my knee. What was the thing that I did to myself? Sleeping.
Sneeze too hard?
Sleeping.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Should have went with the easier
I
one.
had done absolutely no physical activity, no exercising, no hard labor, no nothing. Went to bed, got up, and felt like someone had thrown me down the stairs as I was sleeping. And that was the beginning of what has now been a 15, well, let's say almost 20-year journey, speckled with moments like that throughout almost 20 years.
I mean, I remember some of the dart games we used to play.
Yeah. The games where like I would go to throw, and out of 3 darts, like one of them would bounce out. Who am I kidding? 2 of them would bounce out, and I'd have to pick them up, and I'd be like,
Todd,
I'm done. If I have to pick these darts up, like I'm out.
I'd have to run over the board and pick Bob's darts up.
I had
literally stand there just staring at them for a second, and then be like, "Okay,
listen,
here we go."
Yeah, are we not done? Can we just call it? I had because of darts, I had to come to terms with a dark one of the dark arts called chiropractic medicine, and go find a chiropractor to see who saw me every day.
Witch doctors
for 2 weeks.
Witch doctors.
Just to get me to the point where I could sit down and bend over and tie my shoes.
I'd
like to say it was because I was a.
Did they make you pull your
I played
pants
in the
down?
NFL and I had some serious injuries, but I never did.
And I want to knock on wood right now too, because it's been a while since that's happened.
Yeah, because you learn like what are my limitations. Maybe stop drinking and then trying to walk up the stairs in the middle of winter. Not a good idea. Also, try to do some stretches every now and again.
Stretching is that is one thing in my older age.
And by the way, that could have been my answer. The fact that I had to stretch just to not injure myself, That's a sign of getting old, I think.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. So you want to close it out?
All
As
right.
the youngest, the young buck on the show.
So I've as this conversation's been going on, I've been running through a lot of.
You've changed your answer a few times.
No. I've taken several hundred answers and condensed it down into one.
So those documentary films that some of which you've maybe watched, where there are many characters, you've now compiled those into one composite character that's experienced all these different aging.
I think so. I think so.
All right, hit me.
So at first I was like, okay, when I go out and cut the grass now and I edge and I do all this, like I love, that's a great feeling now. Never had that feeling before.
Feeling of accomplishment of you're cutting the grass on the property that you own.
Yeah. And making it look real good.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be being out in the back. I had to put up siding on the garage that got torn off during a storm. I've never put up siding before.
Right.
Put it all up. I'm like, oh man, like, all right, I think I did a good job. And it's stuck around now for several other storms. So I from what I know, it's doing very good.
Yeah.
It's stuck around.
Yeah.
It's the Gorilla Glue.
Right.
No glue. Only siding nails. Only siding nails.
Coated with Gorilla Glue.
Having my little man cave in the garage
Exactly.
that I have all my tools organized and set up.
Yeah.
I have my workbench that's all laid out and set up.
Yeah. Are we going to get soon to the thing that makes you feel old?
But what I've realized with all these things, Bob, and Todd, at some point, I will stand back and just admire all of them.
Oh, the admiring is what makes you feel old?
That my dad he'd be like, hey, come here, check this out.
Look what I have created.
And he's like, look what I just did. And I'm like, I don't give two fucks about that, Dad. Why are you showing me? Why are you showing me this shit?
Yeah.
But now I have that same appreciation for when he did something like that. Now I'm doing the exact same thing and just standing back and being like, wow, look what I just did. And as simple as it might be, nothing crazy. Like I said, just cutting the grass.
Right.
I'll walk back out in the front yard 3 or 4 times and be like, yeah.
Let me get the tape measure out. Am I at like half inch all the way across this lawn?
Need to make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, nope. There's something over there I missed.
Right.
I'll bring the weed whacker back out, cut that down.
Yeah.
Put it away, come back and be like, yeah, there it is. Okay. Now we're looking good. Yeah, same in the garage. I'll stand back and be like, oh, look at what I did in here. This is amazing.
I would.
That's a good one, Cory. Actually, I actually like that because you're right. That is it. You're still a very, very young man, and so you actually standing back to admire it is 100% an old dude thing.
I would argue.
I cleaned the chicken coop today, and I felt like a freaking champion.
Right, and then you go back and you want to look at it, and you're like, holy shit, look at this work I did, and it looks amazing. And again, me personally, I think it's an old man thing just because there was a certain age where I did not give 2 shits about any of that.
Because there was a time when if your dad had made you do it, you'd have done it, been pissed, and not been tired. Now when you do that, you're like, fuck, that took all the energy out of me to freaking clean up this garage.
And it's time for me to go to bed.
Exactly.
I would argue, and I'm going to get philosophically deep here for just a second at the end of our hour 45 podcast. I would argue it's not the standing back and admiring that made you feel old. It is the fact that you're now doing the thing that you regarded as being worthless when you were younger, and that now you've assumed that mantle that your father had and have a deeper appreciation for how he felt at that time. I mean, and it makes you feel like you are at a stage that he was at that you couldn't appreciate at the time.
I mean, fair enough on that argument, but again, I think that would still fall under the same category.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I'm just saying because
Yeah.
again, too, I looked at even though my dad wasn't that old. And again, we all get our parents like, holy shit, you guys are so old.
So old.
When they're really not.
Yeah.
And so so like when my dad did that kind of stuff, like I was just like, well, this is just you being an old man because no one else gives two shits about this.
Right. But that's my point. And now you're doing something that you personally know you didn't give a shit about then that now is important to you. And you know it was important to him who you regarded as being old at the time. And there you have it.
Right. So again, I think we're both kind of saying the same thing.
I think we're getting to the same point
I think
from a
you
different direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For a different direction.
No.
Two fingers in the same. Two
Hey, Mr.
fingers in the
Security.
same butt. You guys are
Fingers in
good.
the same butthole.
Oh, don't tease me with a good time, Todd.
All right. I could not pick a better time to end this. So that's the podcast of the week. Bob and Tori. Tori, Jesus
Bob
Christ.
and
Well,
Tori.
Hold on. I
Bob
had to
and
stop the
Tori.
music.
Ooh.
Bob, Tori, and Steve.
Hold on a second.
Exactly.
Let me just get ready to end this show.
Oh, hey, Todd, hang on. Grab a shot real quick. Bob already did his.
No,
We can't go anywhere until you get yours.
Yeah.
I'm
One,
getting. Hold on.
2.
Hang on. I'm ready.
Do it.
Down it,
Shoot
buddy.
it. Shoot it.
Cilantro, sir.
I'm even going to
Cilantro.
change
Go,
the order
Rory.
and see if I get it right. On behalf of
Go, Rory.
Todd and Cory and Bob, that's the episode for the week. We'll see you next weekend. Peace out.